interesting thing. The first thing I noticed is Josh Fosse is doing the tip. I wonder if we're one of the shortest teams ever.
Well, let's
win it.
Let's intro this. Toledo's Eddie Townsend, Santiam's J.D. Hill. With the score there, Santiam is in the black. This is the 2017 OSAA 2A state championship game. And I'll let you kick it off, JD.
Yeah, this is a special group of guys. We had a pretty good team coming back that year, and then Julian and Jonah decided to come back to Mill City. And
which one are those guys? I mean,
so,
I know, but just for people,
right, the one who's got the ball, shooting, taking a shot right there, that's Jonah, and Julian's the point guard, number 11, I believe. It's been a little while. So Wash is right up there, guarding the ball.
And their little brother is a freshman for you right now.
Yep, right now, Ezra Downey. So yeah, they're obviously, as you'll see in this game, this is pretty much the performance of the year by those two guys too. Good players, and kind of took us to the next level.
And just context, my team, who were freshmen, Connor was a freshman this year. We went to your house and we lost by 8. Stanfield, who's the team in the white, the Stanfield Tigers, they came to our tournament and we lost to them by 8. So we played both of these teams. Obviously, we're actually 8 points away from them, but we just stalled enough to make it 8.
Yeah, the run and gun Eddie. Those games just run the motion offense over and over. So there's
three.
You see a bank 3. I think he had at least 2 of those this game, if not 3.
So are they running a man press or a zone press here?
Yeah, a little bit of zone press.
Ooh, yeah.
But that's what they do. They press everybody all year long. They've pressed all 32 minutes of every game all season long.
I actually have a screenshot that I shared with my team when we played them. With 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go, we were down by 1. And 20 seconds later, we were down by 11.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it went.
Just pressuring you, yeah.
Just 5 straight turnovers for layups. So I think we lost to Vernonia to get to Pendleton this year. And so I brought Clifton. Connor didn't want to go. He was still upset about losing. But Jackson, Corin, a bunch of my players now. Oh, wow. And we just stayed at a church, and we're up at the top of the rafters watching you. So you're just killing their press.
Yeah. We have a lot. This team had a lot of really good passers. And it's just, I mean, every guy, even my big guys, are probably some of the best passers on the team. And they can see over the top and the back. And then, I mean, obviously Julian's just an amazing passer.
Got to make sure you get your hand sanitizer.
for watching the game, huh?
Just want everybody to remember.
Ooh, Travel did even have the ball, though.
So this coach, Jason Spur, very nice guy.
Oh yeah.
But this is his only year. Didn't we go? We went to Stanfield in the summer after this, right? We were both there.
Yeah.
And then he actually didn't coach that year. I don't know what happened, but
yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah. So this is a group of a ton of seniors for Stanfield.
Yeah.
And they see, the crazy thing about this group is I think it was 2014 they made it to the semifinals and they lost to, I think, Oakland by just a couple of buckets. And then 15-16 they missed the tournament because there was back then no at-large bids. And so it was only the top 2 in their league. And I think Hepner and Irrigan took them both those times. And they were one of the top teams in the state, but there's no at-large bids. and so this is their last little run. And they were this group of kids. They played for a state title in football, and I think they won a state title in baseball, if I'm not
Yeah, the year
mistaken.
before they won baseball, and then I think this year they lost in the semis because we were looking to see if they were going to end up in the championship in all three sports.
So Dylan Grogan, number 22, the big guy, he was a stellar athlete for Stanfield.
A little bit of nerves there,
Yep.
and that was really the story of the game for a lot of our guys. Just we kind of wore out. I played six guys tops, probably five and a half, really the whole tournament, and we couldn't make an outside shot
Those two.
except for yeah. Did Jonah have any threes in this game? I'm pretty sure Julian was the only one who made a three.
So your team went 5 for 22 from three.
Yeah,
Julian Downey went 5 for 9. Um, and Jonah
yeah.
went. He didn't shoot
So
one.
that shows you everyone else 0 for 13. If you
Right.
look at the stats look at the first two games of the tournament and how well we shot. This was our worst game
No, no, no. 0 for
offensively.
17.
5 for 17.
No, no, no. You went 0 for 17 outside of Julian.
Oh, really?
5 for 22 as a team.
But okay, but didn't Julian shoot nine?
Oh, right. No, no. I thought you were talking about. Yeah, yeah. You're right. So Julian. Yeah. So 13. You're right. 0 for 13. My bad. And he also went 10 for 11 from free throw line. Jonah went for 3 for 6. Riley Nycott with 11 boards.
Nico.
Nico, my bad.
Yeah,
He was at the tournament this year, wasn't he?
yeah. He came and watched this year.
That's cool.
Yeah, both the Downies were obviously there. Their brother plays,
So they
and
scored 54 of your 57 points.
yeah, yeah.
Julian
Uh,
went off for 33. He ended up being the state player of the year. And then Jonah had 21. Wow.
yeah.
It's pretty
I
cool.
think on the season, a lot of people I think this is how every single game was, but I mean, obviously they're great players and they could do stuff like this all the time. But I think Jonah averaged about 17,
Well, the
and
thing is,
then
is when we played you, Jonah got hurt. He didn't even play most of the game. He like
yeah,
twisted his ankle or something. And so
yeah,
we saw a lot of other guys score when we played you guys.
yeah, and Julian averaged 14. But this team had a lot of balance throughout this season.
So yeah, let's see. So we came to your place on a Saturday, played at 3:30. You beat us 48-40. And then you went on a run. The only losses you had were to Western Mennonite. You lost at Mennonite 55-50. And then you lost at home by 2, 47-45.
That was on a buzzer beater.
And then you're at home, and then you play them in the semifinals, and you end up beating them 53-33. Take me
Yeah.
through that.
I mean, similar to the game we watched the other day of yours. I mean, we just executed our, defensive game plan, and they struggled to hit shots. Um, we were pretty familiar with them. It was the fourth time we played them this season, and
Oh,
kind of
okay, because
knew.
you actually, yeah, I didn't see that one. You did beat them 58-55 the first time you played them.
Yeah, I mean, every game was pretty close. They got a big lead on us at their place, and we made it close in the end. We made a big run to get back into it. Um, we finally just kind of figured some stuff out, and we knew their offense, what they were trying to do, and we gave them only the shots we wanted to give them, and it's pretty much. I mean, I think that was our defensive performance of the year by far. If you watch the game, they just didn't have they didn't get a layup.
Ooh, wow. Oh, intentional.
Yeah,
Wow. That was a great score right
That was,
there.
yeah.
Sorry I interrupted you.
Oh no.
So your playoff run this year, you ended up playing Weston McEwen at home. You beat them by 16. You remember anything from that game?
I just remember it was a high scoring game.
78
Um,
62.
I do remember I don't know we were down earlier, but it was kind of back and forth and just kind of like we gotta play some defense. We got to score. It's going to be in the hundreds, and then we kind of settled in a little bit and figured some things out. But we scored pretty well. What was the score?
78 to 62.
Yeah.
And then you go to the Pendleton Convention Center as the 4 seed, and you end up playing the 5 seed Embler.
Hmm.
You beat them 54-39.
And yeah, we were up 18 to nothing to start that game.
Oh, wow. So they
And
kind of made
so,
it a game a little bit. Well,
well,
not really.
I mean, not really. We got a lot of people in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, it wasn't, the game was never really in doubt. We just didn't run it up or anything.
And then, obviously, in the semifinals, you play Western Mennonite, now Western Christian. You beat them 53-33. Going into that game, did you expect that? Or what was your thoughts?
Well, the first three times we played them, it was obviously really good games. Um, but I think we knew we could win. There was a lot of calmness. It's just one of those games, before the game, in the locker room, I just got that sense that, like, we're going to do it. We're going to
Right.
win this game. There was
Whoa.
confidence.
That was so far.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And that, I was surprised how well and by how much we were ahead. Because I think we were ahead by 25 at one point.
Yeah,
Um,
I
so
remember watching that game. It was
So
a
yeah,
surprise.
it was just a little surprising, but it was just one of those where the guys. I mean, technically, I had a game plan that I wanted them to do, but they knew it and had helped me develop it in the first three games better than they knew it as well as I did, if not better. And they went out there and executed it and communicated on defense and just completely took them out of their rhythm and really made it hard for them to score.
Yeah, you're up 26-51 with 2 minutes to go in the game. So
Yeah.
you're up 25.
And that's a team that thought they had a chance to win the state tournament, and we held them to 26 points with 2 minutes to go. It shows you the kind of defensive effort we had.
Well, they were the number 1 seed going into the tournament.
Yeah.
They're 26-6.
You can see I have one of my bigger guys out. We're just not very big.
And Regis was good back then. They lost to Regis that year.
Yeah. They had something with Regis, that Western Mennonite and Regis at that time were just Regis just beat them a couple times, I think twice, wasn't it? In the regular season, and then they finally beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, they lost by 6. They had those brothers that were pretty tough.
Yeah.
They lost by 5 both, and then they end up beating them in the league playoff by 9 or 11.
I don't
So
know. Do you have the volume going on yours? Can you hear how loud it is?
yeah, it's turned down a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Just an amazing atmosphere that I'll never forget how loud it was that game.
No, I totally remember it.
A little
I remember.
off the butt.
I'll let you.
That was pretty tricky.
We need your cameraman to spot the score. So you're down 3 right now. Look at those kids.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Hey, quick shout out. I just watched the movie The Way Back You heard of that with Ben Affleck?
Hmm.
Good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but it looks interesting.
It's so funny. He's just cussing at his players like he worked and he's coaching at like a Catholic school. It's like, I don't think it goes like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and shout out to Western Mennonite in this game. That's all those people over there that are jumping up and down. I mean, that some of our crowd is mixed in with them,
Oh,
but
that's not
that's West.
Stanfield.
That's I'm pretty sure is that Stanfield
I think it is. No, I think no, no. I think that's Stanfield right here.
at this end.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then down here is Western Mennonite cheering for us.
that's cool.
Yeah,
They're just classy. They do it the
and then
right
we
way.
have our crowd right behind our bench, so it's kind of just a cool thing. The Western Mennonite girls, I think, weren't they the state champions that year? They played right
Yep.
before this game, so that was they kind of stuck around after that game.
No,
Made it,
I remember this just being ruckus.
yeah,
There's a certain shot when it happens. I'll tell you, it was just like the roof came off.
yeah,
So they're still pressing you.
a little bit.
Little
You can
token
see,
pressure. It's just crazy how you watch this game and how fast things just turn.
yeah, there was so many runs in this game, it's just back and forth.
And this guy he played a lot of guys. I mean, he
Hmm.
cycled through a lot of dudes. He kind of tried to run the system, where the pace is going, you're shooting
Yeah,
in under a certain amount of time, and you're cycling through dudes.
not a bad strategy against us since the guy shooting free throws is my sixth man, and he probably got 10 minutes this game, if that. And the other five guys had played 30 minutes a game for the last, two nights.
Right.
Noah Butler.
Julian and Jonah Downey, both first team all tournament. Simeon Hess from Western Mennonite, first team all tournament.
I'm sure Dylan Grogan from this game was first team all tournament.
You know what's crazy? Oak Ridge, Joel Snyder, he was second team all tournament, so they made it to the tournament.
Hmm.
They didn't even have a team this year. Oak Ridge didn't even have a
Oh,
team.
yeah, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
I mean, isn't that something else?
Yeah, Oak Ridge has a pretty good basketball tradition, too. That's really surprising.
I mean, it's just crazy how things can flip so quick at this level. So 17-17, 6 minutes to go. At this point, how are you feeling with the way things are going? What's your thought process?
Well, we were struggling to shoot from outside the whole game. I mean, it was just we got good looks, the same looks we took all season. But I mean, this is literally one of the worst shooting games we had outside of Julian. Like we just could not make an outside shot. I thought it was going to cost us because we couldn't score like we should have. We got all kinds of good looks. I mean, so far through the first 10 minutes of the game, we've either gotten a layup or a wide open three every trip down.
Nice ball movement. Nico, how many people said, "Is that guy your son?"
Yeah, every game, every single game. I gotta have him watch this because he knows that exact. They asked me, "Is he your little brother? Is that your son?"
I love that pick. Just throw both hands up. Ooh. Oh, I was gonna say no call. How does the guy under the hoop not call that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on now. I mean, you've been to the tournament. This year was a little bit of a down crowd.
Yeah,
Is it the
I
lack of an Eastern Oregon team, or what is it?
I do think that's a big part of it. I mean, I say big part. It's a couple hundred fans. I don't know how much you notice that, um, but I do think there's a lot more interest
Well, when
when
I'm
there's at least one or two.
when we played Oregon, the place was just packed.
Oh yeah, I was at that game. That was very similar to this atmosphere.
Yep. Except for we didn't have a close game. We almost made it a close game at the end, but too little, too late.
The
He's just
Oregon
got.
team, one of the better ones of all time. There's no
Oh
shame in
yeah,
losing to them.
three state title games. Man, he's got a great handle, and I'm just watching the film. Jonah has just he's just explosive.
Oh yeah, very.
I was watching a highlight of him somewhere, and it's like, good lord, how quick he is. His first step, and he's explosive off the floor.
And what we're making Stanfield do right now is something no one else really
Right,
made him do.
run some D or run some O.
Yeah.
Interesting note: no three-man crew here.
Oh really? Yeah. This is true. This must be the last year.
Question to you: do you think it's been better or worse to have a three-man crew?
Um, I would say in general it's been better, but there's times it's a little frustrating because you have, you know, certain style of official that he's different than the other two, and
Right.
it throws the game out of balance, I think. And then there's some guys that are really they want to stick to they call it their quadrant, and it's feel like we have an extra official so that we can see more. Yeah, I feel like officials need to be willing to make a few calls outside of their quadrant if it's obvious.
Yep.
If another guy didn't see it. Ooh, I don't know.
So, just looking at the statistics for the entire tournament, what stands out? You don't lead any statistical category on offense. You're third scoring offense. Your second field goal percentage. Second three point percentage. You're you do lead in free throw percentage at 71%. But what really stands out is your defense. Your scoring defense was number one, field goal defense number one, 3 point defense number one. I mean, you guys just kind of block shots number one. So you just kind of locked it down on the defensive
Yeah.
side of the ball, which is crazy for a short team. You guys average 3.3 blocks a game.
Yeah, I mean, our two inside guys, Riley and Austin, are just, if you watch them in this game, if you're really watching them closely, just the communication, they switch guys all the time. They talk on defense. They just call out things. They always know where to be.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's on my screen because I have the stats, but it's 19-21. So Stanfield's got the lead. Not anymore.
Was that a three?
Yeah, 22-21 us.
Where do you have this? Oh, because you're on. Oh, I got you. Because
Yeah,
you're
because
on.
we're
Yeah.
my idol.
Oh, because you don't want to share the stats. I see.
Would that have shown up for you if I would have shared it?
I think so, because then I get
I
all the.
uh,
It's
I
fine.
always click no
I
on
know.
that.
I do
Sorry about
too.
that.
I'm like, if you want the stats, you can do them yourself. Do you do the stats or do you do Huddle Assist
I do the stats.
on Huddle?
Yeah,
Yeah, I spend like an hour a game on those. I'm not trying to give those to anybody.
yeah. I got to give a shout out to Jamie Fawcett on this one because he probably did all the stats this whole year for me. So,
Oh, really? Yeah, it's so
um,
convenient.
yeah, assistant coach.
Throwing a couple extra rebounds, different guys' ways. Just joking. Oh
No, he
man.
did a good job.
So Julian Downey, He led the tournament. Oh, it's
No, there's
bank
another
shot
bank.
three.
That's the second bank of the game.
It's actually not a bad shot if you work on it. You have more area to. I mean, well, what do
Do
you
you
think?
really think he's banking him on purpose?
No, I don't. But I'm saying if you work, let's say you worked on it right at that angle.
And then you miss it and your coach to take you out of the game.
So do you think it's a better shot statistically, mathematically, to work on the bank shot from this wing or to just try to make it nothing but net?
I think you stick with a shot that will work anywhere. Because if you're working on the bank shot, you're working on a different, different trajectory, different angle.
So then do you do the same thing with 10 footers? Because, I mean, I say always use the glass on shorter distance shots. So why does it change when you move out a
Well,
couple
because
feet?
you're always doing that on shorter distance shots.
But not in the
And
middle.
but in the middle, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
I
Do
don't
you
know if
bank?
I'm teaching the bank shot from like 15 feet, like old school. I think you got to pick one. You can't have like,
8
you know,
options.
yeah.
Ooh. I mean, you can see why these guys were so good.
Yeah, a wave of good
And
athletes.
you can't
Just
really tell from here, but 22 is like a solid 6'4", 6'4" and a half athlete,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, wasn't he state player of the year in football and baseball?
And then the guy shooting the free throw,
Well, the guy they have on the bench is one of the best athletes in the state. He's like
the
six
the
five.
kid coming in.
No, not
No,
him.
32 on the
30, yeah,
bench.
32.
Yeah. That's the
Just
thing is when you have too many guys, sometimes it convolutes what you're doing.
yeah. They didn't really put anybody bad though. Like it's not like they had,
But I
you know.
mean, if you got somebody that's not bad, but he's not quite as good as this kid
Yeah,
that's on the bench,
yeah. I get. I know exactly what you're saying as a coach because that's why I have a hard time subbing people out sometimes.
it's tough. It is so tough.
It's not really about the kids that are on the bench. It's about the kids that are on the court and what do you lose. This was a pretty big play.
He just called a foul on Julian.
Yeah, and then the
You,
other
you,
kid came over and got a
you're like
technical.
out on the floor.
So he came over and got a technical. Grogan.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. He had no reason to. Like they called the foul on us. I don't know why they were so fired up. And they didn't give him a technical for the first guy to go over
But
there.
why did he only teed him
And
up
then the
because his
second guy
teammate was
goes,
pushing him away? Like,
why'd they give him a technical?
well, yeah, I mean, because his teammate was pushing him out of the game.
No, he came over and stood over Julian and said something, called him something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he was the second guy to come over and do it. So they let him get away with the first one.
So the crazy thing is Grogan was probably the best player, one of the best players in the state, right?
Yeah, he was first team all state that year.
Yeah. Well, his league, the coaches in his league, I know a lot of them, great guys. Something with him, he
Yeah.
was like the fourth vote getter in his league for first team all league. Like he
Yeah,
almost
I think
didn't.
there was a lot of hard feelings that year for various reasons. I'd be interested to talk to some of those coaches again and see if they still feel that same way.
I think it was a lot of like the continuing to play a certain way with the score a certain way and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's fired up. I don't know how I feel about the matching coaches polos in the state championship game. I
And
remember.
I'll get in a suit and be all dapper like you, man.
Well, all you need is a jacket, and you'd be right there
Yeah.
with me. So don't
Hey,
even
you don't know
try
how
it.
hard that tie is to get on for me, man. That top button does not get on there
Well, you need to
easily.
get a shirt. But anyways, the
I already get like the biggest shirt they have,
I
man.
I told I told Gary. I said he was saying something to me about it, and I'm like, hey, you're in this situation only so many times in your life. You better be dressed nice. He's like, yeah, and he kind of just acted like, yeah, I'm here quite a bit. I mean, he didn't say that. He's very humble, but it's like
Yeah.
because he wears those polos, you know. He's just like, I just like these polos. But I remember one year, I think it was the year before this, Regis is in the state championship, and they had like 8 assistant coaches, and they all wore the same exact polo. Do you remember that?
I don't know. Yeah, not really.
It
No,
was the year before this. They were in the state championship game against Vernonia.
they all wear the same polos. Huh?
Oh, like, and they were, that what I didn't even know that muted green they have
Oh yeah,
with like the
yeah.
what is their colors?
Green and gold.
Yeah, the gold. I remember seeing it, and I'm never gonna do that, especially in a state title game. Like, let's get dappered up here. All right, so it's 28 to
26. You see my guy at the end of the bench.
look at you.
I'm a little fired up right now. Thought that should have been the first guy should have been an offensive foul. And honestly, it probably seems like I'm out there because of how mad I am. But honestly, that's how close I had to stand to him for him to hear me. Probably.
Right. So in the second quarter, there was 2 ties and 4 lead changes. In the first half, you guys shot 1 for 7 from three, 8 for 20 from the floor, 9 for 12 from the free throw line. You're out rebounding them 18 to 15, down 4. Um, their best player, Grogan, has 3 fouls, one of them being that technical. And Brody Woods, number 32, had 3 fouls. So their 2 best players had 3.
That was close.
And Austin Fawcett for you had 3. And then you had a bunch of players with 2 going into halftime. What was that?
What did they call?
They just call a 5-second call or a carry. Some of these, I'll say this. Officials at times, they don't know basketball. It's like, that's not. I get that you think that's a carry or you think that's a travel when he does a
Yeah.
Euro step, but it's not. So going down 4 with all those situations I just talked about, how are you feeling going into halftime and coming into the third quarter?
I mean, I don't remember what we talked about at halftime, to be honest with you. I think I just implored him to play with courage, really, and you know, do what
Come
we do, keep playing good defense, and
come out with a defensive
I
stop right
I
there.
do remember just in general that whole game I was trying to get us to have a little bit more motion offensively. We were really kind of slowed down. You can see we're trying to set some screens right now, but we just kind of our motion just slowed down, and that was a good possession. But we ran that 5 out motion, and if you were watching the second quarter, we were really just kind of walking around. It doesn't work very well.
I'm going to turn up the volume just so get the atmosphere a little bit.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
So how does it feel watching this game a couple years later?
Well, it's funny the little details that you forget. You just don't remember them because it's been so long. There's just you remember the highlights. There's a lot of things I've already seen, like little plays and stuff I just completely forgot about.
Ooh, it's just gunning.
Yeah.
2 on 3. Ooh. Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, this was his night for sure. Just a special performance, special kid. Talk about a gym rat. Just, I mean, lives in the gym. Still shoots in our gym every time he's home. Well, not right now because nobody's allowed in there because of the.
All right, so now they got their whole squad in: Brody Woods,
Yeah,
Grogan. You almost want to say, just stick with the lineup. You wonder why that kid, so big, isn't getting the ball. Just a couple post touches. Oh,
yeah, we just couldn't make a shot. How's that not an offensive foul?
ooh. So they take a 2 point lead, then you tie it up. This is one of the more fun state championship games to watch that I can remember.
Well, I think this whole year in 2017 was just it was wide open. I think if you look at the bracket, if you remember the teams, there were 6 teams that I think would have been anybody's guess to who would win it, and so it was just kind of fun. It was competitive.
You got 3,157 people at this game. See, that's what I'm talking about. Why don't you do that 10 straight possessions right there with him?
Yeah,
Well, the other one was Columbia Christian. I
they're
mean,
very good this year. Life Christian probably had the
oh my
most dominant
gosh.
player.
Well, two of them, really.
Yeah. Um, Obviously, the Stanfield team, Western Mennonite.
Oh, hustle back.
Yeah.
They have the
See
advantage
their
down there.
yeah, like, see their size is bothering us right now.
That's crazy. Two of the 3 points that they're
Yeah.
right there. He just really wants to shoot those threes.
Well, if you remember the Life Christian game right before this, when they played them, he hit. I don't know. He scored like 15 points in the fourth quarter. Hit a bunch of threes. Do you remember that game?
I do.
I think he hit more than just threes, but he kind of closed out the game on a big run. I wonder if that kind of went into his thinking here.
Probably an over the back, but they're not going to call it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
They are trying to go inside.
Why in the world is Grogan out of the game right now?
Yeah.
I mean,
Is it?
he's
It's third
probably
quarter,
one of
right?
the.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what happened there?
I'm not sure.
Not a bad move. I've kind of gone away from thinking that the floater is a good shot. Like, if you take it over the course of a whole season, I almost feel as
Yeah.
though it might be better to just stop at 10 feet and practice that more controlled 10-foot jumper.
I kind of agree. I think kids shoot floaters way too high. Like
You know,
there's if you worked on a floater that just was like almost like a normal shot, it would be worth it. But the floaters they shoot would go over a NBA player. There's no reason to do shoot it that high.
well, one
It
thing
just
that
adds a
I read
way too much degree of difficulty.
Right. Bill Self said that he likes the floater because it gives you a better opportunity for offensive boards.
He also has a 7-footer All American every
Right.
single year
Yep.
playing playing around the basket for him.
Yeah, I think I'd rather just. I mean,
Make the shot.
I tell guys don't shoot outside of 10 feet. I
Yeah.
want you from 10 feet to the 3 point line, just shoot the three or get to the rim. So they go up 5 right here. Or they're already up 5.
They're up 3 right now.
He's got a nice handle.
Oh yeah.
So what you proved right here, I mean, I know that the state's kind of wide open, but what you proved is if you have two elite guards, you can really control your way to a state title, obviously. You have to have, but I mean, Stanfield's a tough team. See, like right there, how are they not doing that high low action more? So you're down 5, 42-37 right now from deep. Wow. It's just not a good shot. I don't think you should be shooting 16 footers. Like, get to the rim. That kid he settled too much. So you took a timeout. You subbed in Noah Butler. What were your thoughts on that one?
I don't remember. I have no idea what I said. I probably had to scream at whatever it was. Told Noah to take a corner 3. Oh, I mean, every guy that played for me shot probably 35% or better from the 3-point line that year. Even Noah. Noah's a great shooter. Wanted the guy that stuck that in the corner. I mean, the worst 3-point shooter in this lineup was Jonah. He obviously worked on his shot quite a bit the next year and was a very good 3-point shooter, but he barely shot threes. Everyone else shot
Well, he
high
didn't shoot
30s.
1 3 this whole game.
Yeah, he didn't really shoot threes that year.
So, fun
So,
fact about Stanfield here: these uniforms they're wearing, they got them right before the state tournament, and they could never wear them again.
oh, because they have a mascot on them and they don't have a name.
Right. Again, the uniform rules. So dumb.
Super important.
It's probably one
Might
of
get confused on who you're playing if they don't have their name on
well,
there.
like the new rule they said, like they're gonna phase out outline numbers. It's like, does it really matter? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's I thought it was funny. Kids are wearing like the ninja headbands, and then they go, "We're gonna outlaw those because I mean the reason was like those tails might hit somebody in the face, become a distraction."
They actually made reasons.
I think there were reasons actually.
Oh wow. So we're down 7. Must end like this because I remember being down 7. A kickball there, maybe.
So going into the fourth quarter in the state championship game, you're down 7. What are you thinking?
Again, I don't completely remember, but I think I was still trying to get us to play with more energy on offense. We our motion this game, we were just walking around. We were tired. I was like, it's fourth quarter. I mean, got to go all out. We're running a set play here.
Ooh, elevators. Whap whap.
Yeah,
Did he get
NBA
fouled?
range. What's that?
It looked like he got fouled.
Yeah, I think so. They gave him one later. Obviously, that shot was huge. I mean, just get it back to being a possession or two ball game. But the whole fourth quarter, I mean, how many points did he have just this quarter? Not that we want to spoil it for anybody who hadn't seen it. Do you have all Stanfield scores this year?
Yeah, just a second. So they went 22-2. So at this point they're 22-1.
And what was their lowest scoring game up to this point?
Well, they beat Nick's Yahweh 37-10.
What happened in that game? 37-10?
Nixie probably stalled.
Yeah.
Uh, they beat us 75-67. Yeah, I mean they're like 78, 80, 91, 97, 80, 75, 79, 81, 89, 85, 95, 82, 99, 63, 88, 90. And then the state tournament they go 59, 56, and then this game. And that's how it always goes. You get to the state tournament, your average is going down. Huge board. No what? What in the world?
He's a
Nico, no.
yeah. Nico shoots threes like that like crazy,
Ooh.
and that's one of the things everyone looks at him and is like he's not a 3-point shooter. He probably has our career 3-point record, to be honest with you, because he played 4 years in varsity and he shot threes like that for 4 years.
Oh, he's gonna gun.
Yeah, I'll look at the stats for you after this game. I mean, I know a lot of people that probably don't know us real well just think like, where are these other guys shooting for? Like, it wasn't typical at all.
That they were missing this much.
Yeah, because that's kind of the thing we had on everybody is we were the probably the best 3-point shooting team out there. I basically played 5 guards, even though Nico doesn't really look like a guard. That's the style of game that he plays. over half his field goal attempts, I'm sure. Probably three-quarters of field goal attempts were three-pointers.
So I'm repping my Florida Gator shirt. Little known fact: I was born in Florida, Port Charlotte, baby, and I'm repping my Southern Oregon hat.
Southern Oregon.
Alma mater. Let's go. Raider up. Oh,
That was sweet.
that was.
It was pretty.
They call him the Kashmir Kid. They probably don't call him that, but
Jonah would be like, "What is that? What's Cashmere?" I love Jonah, but he's a funny kid.
so what's the score right now?
44-46, Stanfield.
Oh man.
We're still struggling, man. We just can't hit two shots in a row.
Well, they can't make a shot either.
Yeah. 3 games, 3 days.
Uh oh.
You see the kids on the sideline over there
Well,
freaking out.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is when this timeout was useless. You can't hear anything.
These are the type of moments in games when you're watching them, you don't want it to end. You just want the
Yeah,
the feel and the energy and all of it to just keep going.
yeah.
Ooh,
That's a clutch shot.
ooh.
They're back up by one now. They're up 48,
48, 48,
47.
47. Here it is, the state play of the year, Julian Downey with the ball. He's going to get the double screen. He's going to pull it back. He's going to say, "You can't guard me." He just wants the ball. He's like, "No, I'm keeping
Oh
it."
yeah, he's that type of kid.
He's going to go to the rim. Good. Wow. I I know what it's like to have a guy like that on your team.
Yeah. Maybe a little known fact to the people that might watch this, fellow coaches, is that Julian, won a state championship at Silverton when
Oh,
he was a
so
sophomore.
he was cold-blooded already.
Yeah.
So they're back up one with that bucket. Oh no. Oh!
You see those kids over there? Look at
Look at this guy down at the bottom. Look at him. Oh my gosh.
that's the kind of stuff I remember. Just like that's 5 fouls too.
By who?
I don't know. I don't even know who fouled him.
So what's the score
Tyler
now?
Munkus, it looks like.
Okay, yeah. So you were down one, now you're up two, about to go up three, with 2:21 to go. What are your thoughts?
First stop and a rebound. That's
This
all
is
you need is
I
stop and a
remember
rebound. Then
this.
you can play the keep away game.
That and 1-3 was the shot I was talking about, or the one
Yeah.
before that. The three before that was like, oh come on. Like this is what we're talking about. This you don't need to be involved in this energy. Like let the boys play. That was not a foul in this moment. There's 2 minutes to go in the game. Let them play. Get out of the way. Thoughts?
I thought these officials were pretty good, but we won, so obviously.
I mean, obviously they're state title officials, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's like, man, come on. Here, let me add some sanitizer for that thought right there. Some people love the feeling of that hand sanitizer feeling. Some people don't. What a
We got
steal!
that was great defense by Nico. Slid over and the kid didn't expect it. Just bobbled it away.
So 2 minutes to go. You gonna stall?
Yep. No, I do think we shot it again. I think Nico went for the game winner right here, if I remember that.
Dumb shot. And he fouled.
I called it on Jonah. Yeah, I mean, it
Dumb,
wasn't smart.
that's a dumb shot. You have a minute 23 to go, and you're up 3. That's a dumb shot. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think I know Riley, and I know
Riley,
I know what he was thinking. He's like, I'm gonna put this game away. I'm gonna hit
It
this
wa-
one.
you probably got you're the best free throw shooting team in the tournament. Make them foul you. Take another 30 seconds off the game. You won anyways, but still. Ooh. So now you're up 2. Up 1. Thoughts?
Obviously, we got to break their press right here. Called a timeout.
Wow. Could have been a travel. Could have been a foul. Could have been a timeout. Leveler heads prevail. Steady your heads. What a great group of officials. Ooh. Nico's like, I'm keeping this. I got the free throws. Oh, don't do it. Ooh. Great job. Who was that kid?
Austin Fawcett.
That was a smart move. A lot of kids would have
Yeah.
tried to make that layup right there. See, I like what Austin Fawcett's doing right there.
Yeah, I do too. Smart players.
So how much time is left right now? 57 seconds,
57
up
seconds.
1. You're up 1 to win a state title. Is your blood just boiling right now?
Yeah, I'm sure I was nervous.
Man, just burning those timeouts.
Yep.
How many more you got?
I have no idea.
Well, the crazy thing is they only have 3 team fouls. I don't know what they're doing.
It's
I mean,
true.
you at least got to get 3 quick team fouls. Coaches,
We gotta get-
if you're down 1, don't be trying to go for steals and traps with 50 seconds left. Get your fouls. I mean, when I know I'm going to be in this situation, I tell my guys to get those fouls to get at least a 5 so you can go to that last minute with just 1 or 2 fouls to give. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you gotta get them early.
Like when we played Napa this year, we had about 2.5 minutes to go, and we only had, I think, 2 team fouls. And I just subbed a couple guys in, and we went foul, 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 just to get to a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been in those situations on the other side where the other team has, 3 or 4 fouls to give, and it takes them 30 seconds to get those fouls. That chess game never ends.
We had to throw the ball in bounds a lot of times. That was my biggest worry, was just getting it in.
Well, I mean,
I
if
mean,
they're
we
going to
have-
play the backside here, you got that whole side of the court to throw it to. Oh, what is he doing? Wow, that was Who fouled out?
I don't know. Looks like their athletic guy.
Tyler Monkus.
No, he's the one who fouled out earlier.
So, 29 seconds. Julian Downey shooting free throws. Are you worried at all? Is he a good free throw shooter? What's the deal?
I'm obviously pretty confident, Julian. I've seen what he did this whole fourth quarter. I wasn't too stressed about that. No, I was more
He's just ice
knowing
cold.
that they're going to get the ball back, and I wanted to make sure that we were locked in on defense.
And they're going to call a timeout probably.
I called timeout.
So, why okay. So
So
if
just
they
going over the
why
scenarios.
did you give them a timeout?
I didn't give them a timeout.
Yeah, you
I
called the
don't. I
timeout,
want us to
then
be. I want us to be organized.
but then
Know
you
what we're
let them
doing.
be organized.
Oh, I bet our defense is better than our offense.
So what's your thoughts there? Because I go through that back and forth. 29 seconds to go, timeout's called, down three, and they decide to go inside instead
Yeah,
of trying to go for the
I
tie.
think you do that. Yeah, you just get the quickest basket you can at that point.
So
If there's a good three to take, you should shoot it. But
so right here, 16 seconds to go. You're
I
up
mean, I think
one.
I don't remember what I said, but I'm guessing that I said guard the 3 point line.
And what's your thoughts on so now you're up
Two.
two. Oh, you so this is an interesting play right here. Oh, that was huge. He didn't box out.
Yeah, free throw boxing out.
He did not box out. He stepped towards the hoop. Coaches, make sure you get those box outs in cuz it's going to bite you in the worst possible time. Oh man. He gets that board. They're only down 2. Totally different game. So Julian Downey right here has a chance to ice the game.
Yeah, put it. I have to give him a hard time about this one.
Ooh.
He did quite a bit, but he had to. All he had to do is make one more free throw. I mean,
Julian, it's fine. I've got you covered.
hey,
Hey,
that
what?
stuff's like gold, man. You got to quit using that so much.
How do you even know I'm using it? I could just be acting like I'm using it.
You faking?
I'm going on eBay right after this. I'm going to sell that for $3,500. I read this story that there's uh, like the Oregon Department of Justice or something are sending letters to. Oh wow.
I wish they would have moved the camera where you kind of see it now, but it's pretty fun to end a close game like that
You can
because you
see
just
it.
see.
Wow.
Yeah, you
54-57.
miss Julian jumping on me though. He like ran full speed and just
That's pretty cool.
jumped on me.
Why didn't you just go chest bump Chris Welch right there?
Yeah, that was exciting.
What are you thinking right now?
Just couldn't believe it was real, man. It was crazy. It was a wild 3 days, that's for sure.
What'd your wife have to say?
Oh, she was excited. I mean, I don't know. you don't really think that you think you can do it. You think it's possible, but it's different. You're like in all business mode when you're there. You know it is. It's just like all business. I know we can win it, but you really don't dwell a lot about like how it's gonna feel when you do win it. And then when you do, it's just like, man.
They like won the state title right there. Western
Yeah.
Mennonite. That's the last time you're gonna hear that chant. No, they do a great job. I can be a prophet right here and tell you who's gonna win these.
How can you do that? I'm gonna I'm gonna
Ryan
stop mine so I won't know what's going on.
Ryan
But
Bailey.
I'm gonna look up some of the stats for you just for this season, kind of give you an idea. You gotta love huddle. Kind of a weird fact if you look at the number of games that teams played that year. It was kind of down. Do you remember that really all the bad snowstorms we had that year?
Yep.
We had like 4 games get canceled. I think we made up 2 of them, so we only lost like 2 games. But
Oh
there's I
yeah.
know
Well, I'm looking
there's a
right
lot.
now at Stanfield's schedule. They canceled Embler, canceled Prescott, canceled Sherman. I mean, they had to cancel a ton of games. They only played, well, they played 24 total games. But for a team that makes it to the state championship, you're normally around 30.
Yeah, we played 28. And another thing just about this team in general is so Julian and Jonah don't play summer league because they just transfer back from Silverton back to Santiam. Our
Why?
football team
Why
made it to
didn't
the
they
state
play?
well because I they didn't know they were gonna go to Santiam. I guess during summer, I had no idea until like 2 days before school started. And the other thing is our football team made it to the state championship game that year. Or no, did they make it to the state championship? That was no that year. I think they were just quarterfinals or something. We started practice kind of late, lost like a week of practice, so it was just tough. And then we had all those cancellations because of snow, and we had to cancel practice and stuff too. So this team really didn't even get to practice together very much. So it was just kind of cool to. They're just such a smart group of kids. I do think we had the highest GPA that year too. That's another thing. Just kind of shows you have intelligent kids, hardworking kids in the classroom.
3.81 GPA.
You had it right there, ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah, we're number one, right?
I'm looking.
What was Toledo? 2.15,
Don't
something like
even.
that.
Let's see. Yeah, right. We were number 3 at
Ooh,
3.59. Get up off me. So Santiam was 3.81 with an asterisk next to their name. Oh, they were the overall top team. I thought it was an
yeah.
asterisk like, you
Overall
know,
top team.
yeah.
All isn't that all levels?
Santiam, yeah, you and Cross Hill Christian tied.
Yeah.
So Western Mennonite was 2 at 3.62 and Toledo was 3 at 3.59. So calm down. Calm down.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to insult
No,
Toledo.
you were. I
That was
understand.
that.
It's fine.
No, I
Yeah.
meant it was a Siletz or Newport or something like that. It's not Toledo. They got like a something different in the water there. You got all the geniuses.
Oh no, Newport's always right now. Newport. So Newport and us tied this year. They were Number 4 in the state at 3.59. Nowadays, I always have like one or two kids, man. You know, one or two kids that pull us down. Maybe even a guy that hit dagger threes on you.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Um, so like I was saying with 3-point shooting, Josh Fawcett, number 10, shot 43% this year. Austin Fawcett shot 31. Riley Nico shot 39. Julian shot 41 or 42%. And Noah Butler shot 40%.
That's
That's all the,
incredible.
yeah. And Jonah shot 37.5. But he only took like one a game. The other guy shot a few more. So you could see like we could shoot it really well, but we didn't shoot it in that game.
All
So
right, I'm
we
gonna.
shot under 30% 5 times all season from the 3-point line. That was one of them.